In this video, let's talk about how WebdriverIO works. If you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel so that you get notified with all the videos that I post. Alright, what are the elements of WebdriverIO automation? Elements? Yeah, obviously there has to be a browser. There has to be a platform where I can write my code on. So Node.js is the environment that I'll have to choose. With Node.js environment, I write my automation scripts in JavaScript, and that JavaScript can be easily edited with the help of a code editor, that is VS Code. That's what I'm trying to use here. You can use anything else that you want. And there is again node modules. So what is this node modules? So node modules is just a set of libraries. All these modules are stored in a common repository, and from that repository you can choose whatever you want. So WebdriverIO is one such repository that is present inside the node repository, and there is again a Chrome driver, there is Allure reports, there is the Cucumber. All these things constitute or facilitates the automation process in WebdriverIO. You can do so with purely WebdriverIO, but again, using all these modules just makes your life a little easier. Alright, I have my browser, I have the Node.js environment, I have my automation scripts, I have all the node modules. So how does the script work? Yeah, so first, all you have to do is just pass a command. That's what we do at the end. After all the automation scripts are done, you just have to pass a command in the terminal, and that terminal will be reaching out to the package.json file. Package.json file has two different sections. One is called the scripts, the other one is called the dependencies. Scripts is the place where we place all the commands that we want to run, and dependencies is the place where we list out all the dependencies or the modules that we need to download from the actual repository. So let's say if I want to run my script, run this particular command. So that command will be placed in package.json. That will be usually to run your configuration file. So in the configuration file, we just have a list of options to choose from: which browser to run, how many browsers to run, what environment to run, what automation scripts to run, which libraries to choose from. Everything will be present inside the WDIO configuration file. Okay, finally, what is this driver? So driver is an executable file which is different for each browsers and different operating system that facilitates the communication between your automation scripts and the browser. Automation scripts with the help of WebdriverIO library in Node.js environment passes the commands, and that is being converted to browser understandable code by the drivers if you are using W3C, the WebDriver protocol. On the other hand, if you're using a Chrome DevTools protocol, there is no need for the drivers. All you can do is just pass the command from the automation libraries. It just directly goes to the browser with the help of browser APIs. Okay, now let's take a look at automation script with WebdriverIO. How I created this, I'll put it in the subsequent videos. For now, let's take a look at how package.json looks like. As I explained, there will be a section where we'll be able to run or give commands. So if I give npm test, this particular command will work. What this particular command does, it just runs the configuration file. I'll come to the configuration file in a while. Then there is also a section where we can declare what dependencies or what node modules to download. So here we have specified about 6 different node modules, and if you go to the node module section, you will see a bunch of libraries available. So though we have given only 6, all those 6 requires multiple other sub dependencies, and each one of them will have their own package.json. For example, if you take a look at WebdriverIO, this particular package has its own package.json, and inside the package.json you can see there is multiple other dependencies that needs to be downloaded, and inside those dependencies there will be further dependencies. So all of that put together, we have a big list of dependencies that is available. Alright, so now let's take a look at the driver. With Chrome driver, you need a executable file, as I showed previously, if you're using W3C protocol, and that is this. So this is an executable file that will be present along with the package that will be used for the communication. So now let's take a look at the configuration file. So the WDIO configuration file specifies a lot of things, so you have a lot of options. It just tells us where the automation scripts are. It also tells us what browser to run, how many browser to run, what driver to use, what framework to use, what level of logs needs to be put in the console. Everything is present inside the WDIO config file. Okay, so now as you saw, the command is always passed in the terminal. All we have to do is npm test, and this goes to the package.json, and in package.json we have given this particular command which enables us to trigger our automation scripts, and then based on the reporting library that we have chosen, we will see the reports accordingly. That is it. Hope you got a clear picture of how automation works with WebdriverIO. If you have any questions, feel free to add a comment below. I will get to you as soon as possible. Thank you.